All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. So they just hired Luke Getsy to be their offensive coordinator. And in yesterday's video, we were looking at some of his statistics, being the OC of the Chicago Bears for the previous 2 seasons. They were dead last in passing yards per game. They were first in the NFL in rushing yards per game, and they were top 3 in big plays, which is a rush of over 10 yards and a reception of over 20 yards. And everybody was saying, oh, well, you know what? If you take out Justin Fields rushing, it brings back the Bears to number 24. And I got a comment actually from somebody, I don't want to name drop him here, but he's speaking as a Bears fan, and he's dead on the money. Right? I'm Chicago born and bred from the Chicagoland area. I watched every single Bears game for several seasons at this point in my life, right? What Luke Getsy wants to run is a quick strike offense. He doesn't want the quarterback to meander in the pocket, to get elusive, to go, try and make a big time crazy play. He wants the ball out of the quarterback's hand immediately. And that is not Justin Fields' forte. This isn't a knock on Fields. It just wasn't a good fit. So when we talk about Luke Getsy coming to the Raiders, I actually absolutely love it. And I want to talk about Jayden Daniels in today's video because the Raiders still need a quarterback. And as we know, Daniels and Antonio Pierce, the new head coach for the Raiders, they have a history together back at Arizona State. Jayden Daniels just won the Heisman. But before we get any further into today's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, along with a couple of Raiders videos every single week. We're kind of posting daily Raiders content right now. So Raiders fans, if you could try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. Now, look. We've been talking about guys like Kirk Cousins. We've been talking about bringing back Aidan O'Connell. But here's the bottom line. The Las Vegas, as good as Aidan O'Connell looked at various points of the game, we understand that he came in the 4th round as a rookie. He was the third string quarterback, and then he just gets thrown into the starting mix once Josh McDaniels finally got canned. But at the end of the day, no matter who was quarterback for Las Vegas at various points last season, Vegas finished the year scoring 20 or more points on offense in just 4 of 17 games. And folks, if you want to take down the Kansas City Chiefs, if you want to get back to the playoffs, you need to score more than 20 points in more than 4 of 17 games. All right, that's just bottom line, man. You got to perform. I understand, 4th round rookie QB. Does he have a bright future in the NFL? I think so. Is he a starting? I'm not just handing him the keys to the starting quarterback position. Now, Jayden Daniels, in my opinion, will go number 2 in this year's draft. He might go number 3. A lot of this has to do with what do the Chicago Bears decide to do with the first pick in the NFL draft. I think they're going to take Caleb Williams. But Washington just got Cliff Kingsbury as their offense coordinator once that deal fell through with the Raiders. So it's like, you know what? That kind of looks like... it looks like Washington could trade up to get Caleb Williams. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders have the 13th pick in this year's draft. And a player to watch, according to, I think his name's Jeremy Fowler, an ESPN insider, is Jayden Daniels. So here's the quote. New coach Antonio Pierce is a big fan of Daniels from their days together at Arizona State. And word is that Pierce evaluated offensive coordinators with the loose possibility of Daniels in mind. And what we know from Tom Telesco, even though he's been the GM for the Raiders for only 2 weeks at this point, he likes to go big or go home. Go big or go home mentality. Let's take some gambles. And what we also know is if you're the GM of a football team and you have your guy, and he said, by the way, in a presser that he doesn't know who the Raiders are going to draft. He doesn't know who the Raiders quarterback is going to be this upcoming season. Once again, he's only been the GM for the past 2 weeks. But I think Jayden Daniels changes everything about the Las Vegas Raiders. Like we said, we've talked about Kirk Cousins, we've talked about Ryan Tannehill, we've talked about Justin Fields, we thought about bringing back Aidan O'Connell as QB1. We've talked a lot about various quarterbacks. Jayden Daniels might be a little bit of a stretch because there's no way on earth that this guy falls out of the top 3. So the Raiders would have to give up a significant haul. Max Crosby's not going to be traded. I also don't think Devontae Adams is going to be traded. So you'd have to give up a pretty big haul. But folks, it's worth it. It would be worth it to acquire a player, the Heisman winner in college football, like Jayden Daniels, all right? He is a big-time playmaker. He just threw for almost 4,000 yards. He had a quarterback rating of 208. He had 40 touchdowns and he had only 40 interceptions, and he led the LSU Tigers to a 10-3 season. And by the way, that he's been with LSU for 2 seasons now, or was with LSU for 2 seasons. The year before that, LSU also won 10 football games, and he threw 17 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. So he's not throwing picks, and he's scoring touchdowns. He's driving the ball down the field. Having a difference maker at the quarterback position like Jayden Daniels just gets me licking my chops. I don't give a rat's ass, to be quite blunt with you guys, what it takes to trade up for the QB that you want. Now, whether it's, I get it. I want Caleb Williams too. I'd take Drake May. I'd take Michael Penix. I'd take Jayden Daniels. You know what? To keep it a buck with you, I'd take Bo Nix, and I'd even take J.J. McCarthy. I want a rookie playmaking quarterback. That doesn't mean I need this dude to be like, unbelievably mobile, but I want a guy who makes plays. I want a winning quarterback from college as a rookie in the first round of the draft. Like that, I get it. The Raiders have holes. They need to fix, various parts about the offensive line. I understand it. But at the end of the day, you need a quarterback to change it all. And Aiden O'Connell's a little bit old, and I just want a QB. Like, I like Justin Fields. I don't think he fits well at Luke Getsy. So personally for me, I think Justin Fields, once Luke Getsy got hired by the Raiders, I think that was absolutely kiboshed. If you go back and you watch like the 4 games that Tyson Bagent, the backup QB, like what was it, D2 quarterback, in the 4 games Justin Fields missed this past season, they won 2 of them. And this is at a point in time where, I know the Chicago Bears ended the season well. Once they acquired Montez Sweat, their defense, once they acquired Montez Sweat, the Bears were the best rushing defense in the National Football League. So their defense is above average. But if you go back and you watch Tyson Bagent in those 4 games where he's more of a quick release quarterback, they won. And they won football games. And I know it sounds crazy to say right now, but once again, as a Chicagoan, people were murmuring, should we roll with Tyson Bagent next season instead of Justin Fields? That was an actual narrative. That was an actual conversation that a lot of Bears fans, a lot of Bears reporters, analysts, whatever, had. All right. So, no, I don't think Luke Getsy is a bad offense coordinator by any stretch. I also think people deserve second chances, and his back's up against the wall here. This is a big opportunity for him. And, honestly, if Cliff Kingsbury deal fell through, Luke Getsy would be without an NFL job this season. So the pressure's on, and you got to get your quarterback position right. And I just want a dynamic playmaker for the Raiders QB1 this upcoming season. And I think Jayden Daniels is it. If it's in the cards, you make that move. I also like Michael Penix. I also like Bo Nix. I'm starting to get excited because I think the Raiders are drifting towards selecting a QB in the first round, whether it's 13, whether they trade up, whatever the move is. Now, that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button, but most importantly, give me your thoughts on Jayden Daniels coming to Las Vegas next season. Peace.